Hello, and welcome to the Den of Iniquity. This week, well, kind of special in a way. See, this week I'm doing something that I haven't done before, and that is I'm actually recording this Den of Iniquity to cover one that I already did. Because to be perfectly honest, having done a video already on the subject matter that I'm about to go into, and then having reviewed it and discussed it with a friend of mine, thank you Ruth, I decided that if I had allowed that video to go up, and fortunately I stopped Greenie just in time, then I would have been guilty of the exact same narrow-minded stupidity that I raged against in it. But you'll understand that in a little bit. To start things off, the actual subject of this video, regardless of however my mind might wander while we do this, is the new Ghostbusters film. Because let's face it, it's great to see that they're doing a new Ghostbusters film. Hell, I love Ghostbusters. Always have, always will. The cartoon is brilliant, the comics are awesome. So, when they said that they're going to reboot Ghostbusters, and we've been hearing about it for ages, all of a sudden, I'm going to get excited. It's something worth getting excited about. Now, they come along and they say that, okay, we're going to reboot it and it's going to be an all-women cast. Fine, grand. Not a bother with that. Why? There's a precedent for it in the comics. Now, I was hoping, really hoping, that it would be a sequel, in some way, shape or form. That they'd be continuing on the spirit, and no pun intended, and the actual story of the Ghostbusters. But no, they haven't. They've decided that instead they're going to rehash the old script. Now here's the thing. That's what we should be pissed off about. We shouldn't care that, it's a bunch of women, and we shouldn't get fucking whingy that, it's a bunch of women. And you ladies out there shouldn't get on your high horses just because it's a bunch of women and a bunch of guys, for some strange and unknown reason, feel threatened by you. Because clearly they've got their balls in their fucking man purses or whatever. And ladies, yes, I know you're all going, oh, feminist this and feminist that. Guess what? Feminism is not what you're doing. What you're doing is seeking attention. If you want to demean men, go off, buy a fucking strap-on and get into this thing called pegging. You'll find lots of it up on the internet. Guys, if you feel threatened by the notion that women are actually able to do stuff and are actually taking on roles that men traditionally have, guess what? Grow a pair of fucking nuts or else get yours out of a purse. Because if you were actually a real man, you'd realise that, hey, fair fucking play to them. Now I admit, I might be a little bit biased, what with me being a pagan Irish guy and all the rest of it. Because, at the end of the day, once upon a time, despite all the Catholicism that tried to beat it out, and hey, let's face it, that's what a lot of religions try and do, women down, men up, because at the end of the day, it's all about power. We here in Ireland, regardless of how Catholicism went, had this interesting thing. You see, there was this awesome fucking weapon known as a wooden spoon, and it was wielded by terrible matriarchs called our mothers that beat the absolute shite out of us when we fucked up. Why? Because we deserved it. And let me tell you something. That right there, damn good reason to treat women as your fucking equals. Now, at the end of the day, as far as the Ghostbusters go, you want to know what we should be raging about? The fact that they're rehashing the same old script. Come on! There is a precedent for being able to go on and give us a damn good sequel. And what's worse, you have all these things planned out. You're going to do this whole expanded universe. You're going to have Channing Tatum in it. That's been cancelled. I'm delighted, by the way, because that's the last time Channing Tatum did a remake. We had a pile of shit known as 21 Jump Street, which should have been the new Dangerous Minds, but instead was just the same old fucking shite we've seen for the last decade and a half, where farts are funny and no one actually learns a fucking thing. You idiots missed the point of the original show. Something like what you may be doing with the new Ghostbusters thing, if you don't bother your arses to actually come up with a creative way of either following the story or at least following the spirit. But no! You decide that you're just going to give us the exact same fucking script. Yeah, no, I know. It's going to be tweaked, and yeah, the feminists are going to say, oh, you tweaked it for us, and the fucking ballsless manimists, or whatever the fuck they call it, are going to bitch and whinge that their manhood, or whatever the fuck they think is going to be taken away from them, because, clearly their dicks are fucking the size of a pencil, and not a very long one either. Otherwise, ye would not be fucking bitching. Let it to the attention whores, who, by the way, are getting far much fucking attention. You don't believe me? Just look at the fucking Batman cover that you decided to change. Why? Because none of them ever bothered their arses. Now, the valid point was made by my friend that, that second cover of her looking angry was pretty kick-ass. Okay, cool. I agree with that. So why not do variant covers? It's not like that's unheard of before. Instead, you cancel it? You fucking pandering mooks. At the end of the day, this rant is about the new Ghostbusters film. The stuff they've shown us so far are screenshots that look interesting enough. They've shown us the proton packs, which, to be honest, I'm kind of glad that they took the approach they did, because while the 80s look was cool, the 80s look was still trying to give us a sci-fi blend, and it did kind of at times take away from the notion that this is something that they cobbled together. Now, I know the new ones kind of look a bit sleek, but they also look a little bit cobbled together as well, which I think is a nice touch. We're not actually going to know anything about the film until we see it properly, or at least until trailers start coming out. As far as being a Ghostbusters fan is concerned, I am looking forward to seeing it. Why? Because it is a new Ghostbusters film. If it is shit, it's shit. It won't be because it's a bunch of women. It won't be because there's some apparent hidden agenda. And remember, I'm a conspiracy nut, and even I think that this is fucking beyond the pale, you fucking nutless wonders. It'll be because the film was they either didn't do a very good job of rehashing an old script, which, by the way, I think is a terrible idea. There is a precedent for this kind of thing. In the most recent Ghostbusters comic, the team was led by Janine Melnitz. It had a couple other women in it. Yeah, there was a guy in it. Oh, I know that you've got your token guy in the new film as well. Let us not forget that you decided to stick fucking Thorboy in as your eye candy. Guess what? The original Janine wasn't exactly eye candy. However, she was a driving force behind the team. And I am ashamed to admit that right now, off the top of my head, I unfortunately can't remember the name of the actress that played her. As my friend pointed out, we don't all know who she is. Yeah, we all know who Christopher Helmsworth is, and he's going to be the big name of blah, blah, blah. Look, they want their eye candy, give them their eye candy. Okay? If it's a good film, it's a good film. If it's not, it'll go the same way 21... Ah, shit, that pile of shit got a sequel. Well, maybe we'll get over it. I mean, fuck's sake, still got the cartoons and the comics and all the rest of it, and it's not exactly like we haven't been taking blows to the fucking childhood for the last decade and a half anyway. And yeah, I know I've ranted about that the whole time, and I know at the end of the day you can't really ruin a memory, but fuck's sake, it's not about our childhoods. It's not about what we remember. It's about what we get to pass on to the next generation. It's about what they see, the stories that influence them. Do we want them to actually be stories that at times encourage or inspire them, or do we want them to be lame ass crap that's just looking special with no actual fucking soul to it? Because let's face it, that's what a lot of the remake stuff is. Michael Bay, you need such a slapping. I hear you're doing the fucking Birds. Fair play, just enough fucking rope, you stupid bastard. The rest of you, leave him off. Don't even bother fucking going on about it. He wants to fucking kill himself making it. Let him. Okay? We'll all just sit back and go, ha, you fucking wanker. Maybe now the rest of the world will actually realise they don't need you making films, Don't get me wrong, whenever you're actually, showing something that's a giant robot or a mutant, cool. But, sorry, I've fucking lost my train of thought and derailed into a Michael Bay rant. Idiot just fucking draws it on himself. Back to the Ghostbusters. We will always have the original films. Once upon a time there was the hope that we would have the original cast. That's not going to happen. Maybe we'll have who's left, maybe we'll have cameos by what's left of the original cast. I certainly hope we do. I certainly hope that the people that are making the Ghostbusters film, the female remake, or any films that they're going to do, have enough fucking sense to call the boys in. Definitely Dan Aykroyd, maybe Bill Murray. Ernie Hudson, I'm not sure if he'd have any input. I think it'd be cool. Last time I saw him doing anything was in Transformers Prime, and I thought he did excellent voice work. Fair fucking play to him. I do think it would be awesome to see these people doing cameos. I really think it would be a good idea to have them influencing the film. I think the fact that it's just basically going to be a bunch of women doing, a remake. Hell, I just think that the fact that it's just a remake in general is a bit of a cop-out. It's one thing to do a reboot. It's another thing to basically twerk a script to the point that we all know what's happening, and the only difference is you're dealing with women's issues because it's a bunch of women. Okay, fair enough. Whatever. You can do better. We deserve better. And not because you're being pressured, and not because a bunch of fucking testicularly challenged fucking whatevers are bitching at you, but because you might actually have a bit of respect for those of us that remember fondly this stuff and hope to actually pass on these cartoons, these stories, these influences onto those that come next. Certainly what I'm hoping to do with my nephew, but hopefully he'll actually get to see the, whatever, hopefully the new one is good, but if not, I damn sure know what I'll be fucking rearing him on. And I know what all of us that remember all of these things will be rearing the next generation on. And that's what you're counting on. the next generation to fund ye. Think about that. End of discussion.
Like what you see here? Don't forget to comment, subscribe, and like. And visit us at the AnimalGoreSociety.com. Stay spooky, minions.